Alright guys, so this is my DIY video on making a steel target. It's not exactly 14 by 14, but it's a little bit smaller, but it's the scrap steel that I could find for the plate will have to suffice. It's probably about 12 by 10 inches. I looked to buy a piece of plate steel, 14 inch by 14 inch, and I was quoted 80 bucks. So I was like, nah, I'm just gonna scrounge around for some steel. This is what I found, and this is how I make my target. So I found this scrap piece of plate steel laying around, cleaned it up with the angle grinder with a wire wheel brush on it. Got all the rust and paint removed. Other side, cleaned up the edges and the rust around these holes here. I'm leaving this paint on because I'm just gonna paint over this. And, you know, I'm not really concerned about removing all this paint because, hey, it's going to get destroyed anyway. Got myself here a 1/2 inch steel tubing, round tubing, and in a solid steel bar, round bar. And so I'm going to fabricate this into a target that will be a self-standing target. Now I've also got some fluorescent green spray paint that I'm going to hit this with when we're done to make it highly visible at a distance. It's not quite 14 inches. It's probably 12 by 10 by the looks of it. But I mean, I'm going to use what I can get. Alright, so here's the pieces. This tube is going to be welded onto here. This tube is going to be welded onto this rod. All right, now I'm going to weld. I'm going to do a tack weld onto here. Got my ground cable, stick welder. I'm going to secure this in place. I'm just going to tack weld this steel plate onto this bar now. I ugly welded this steel plate to the tubing. Next I'm going to weld this tubing to this round bar, and should be almost done here. The steel plate ugly welded and wire brush clean. It's not pretty. I'm not a welder, but it will hold. And I'm gonna paint this now bright fluorescent green. Yeah, we'll hit that with a few coats of the fluorescent green. I'll let this dry and come back and hit it again. All right, this is how the system's gonna work. This tube will go into the ground. I'm going to pause the video while I hammer this in. Okay, so the tube is now hammered in, nice and solid. Pick up the flag here, and insert the flag into the tube like this, and that's how it will sit. Back up, and I can see that I've got a target. I'm going to hit this with another coat of paint once this is dry, just to brighten it up a little bit more. And I might go with a layer of orange on top of that, because it's the fluorescent yellow just really isn't popping like I was hoping. It's kind of dark. I mean, it does stand out against the background, but I might just hit it with a fluorescent orange instead. Plus, it would be easier to spot against a natural green and brown background. But this is my steel that I'm going to use as a target.